Hi everybody, it's Jenny from the Missouri Star Quilt Company, and I am so excited about today's project. This is one of the mysteries of the quilt world, how to create these tumbling block quilts without the Y-seam. So we've got a fun tutorial for you today. So to make this quilt, what you're going to need is 2 yards of a light, a medium, and a dark. We've used Cotton Couture by Michael Miller, and we've used the light gray, the dark gray, the coral color, and then for this outer border out here, that's our black, and it just sets it so it makes it look like the quilt is just floating on there. It's just a great look, and you need 1.5 yards for that border. So 2 yards of all your other fabrics and 1.5 yards for your outer border, and that's just going to set it off. You're also going to need this Rhombus template, and this is just a great little template, and I just can hardly wait to show you how to do this. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut your fabric into 5-inch strips, and I've got some 5-inch strips cut here. I've got my coral, I've got a dark gray, and I've got my light gray. The light, medium, and dark is really important on this because you want it to look like the sun's coming in. You want to be able to see this block right here, that it has dimension, and it pops and it forms that tumbling block shape. And so the light, medium, dark is really important. So when you're ready to cut your rhombuses, you're going to open up your fabric like this. If you leave it together in a folded, which I do sometimes, you won't get as many out of them. You should be able to get 10 per strip, 10 of these, because you're going to cut them too. Now when you lay them, let me move this so you can see it. When you lay them on here, you can see that this rhombus just goes edge to edge right here. It takes up every bit of that strip and it just fits right on there. It might work better if I show you with this dark gray. Let me put this dark gray in here. My mat is the same color as the fabric, so it's a little bit hard to see. So we're going to put this right here, and see these little notches right here too. We're going to go ahead and cut those notches. And so when you're ready to cut this, I'm just cutting my little notch right here, and then I'm cutting it up here like this. This should slide away. I'm going to whip this around, and then we're going to go ahead and cut the notch over here and then trim this up. This is the shape you're looking for right here. So you're going to cut all of your strips into dark grays and light grays like this. So I have a little stack of these right here already done. These two right here. Next, you're going to need to cut your triangles. These are your coral triangles, and let me show you how to do that. This, the Rhombus template is very well marked for this, which I love. So right here it says, use this side for triangles, so helpful. And then it says, line up this edge of the fabric, line up this line with the edge of the fabric. So you can see that it comes kind of on the other side of the triangle right here. But we're going to go ahead and line that up on that edge, and we're going to go ahead and cut this out. Again, don't forget your notches. Try not to go in too far with those notches because your next triangle is going to come out on the flip side of that. So we're going to go ahead here and cut these, and you're going to get a stack of these really quick because I left mine in 4s. So then, of course, you're just going to turn this around and come over here and cut your next set. And you're going to do that to all your coral as well. So now we are ready to assemble our rows. And an easy way to do that, a little quicker, is you're going to take your dark gray and your light gray, and they each get a triangle attached to it, but you can see these are going different directions. So you want to make sure that all your gray ones are going the same way, and all your dark grays are going the same way, and your light grays. When you're ready to put your triangle on the edge here, we're going to take this, and you know I'm a little angly challenged, so I really use the diagram on this quilt. So I make sure this is going the same direction, and then I'm going to attach my triangle to this side right here. Now this is a 60-degree triangle, so you know any side you attach it to, it's going to work, but you just need to make sure it's attached to the right side. So you lay these right side together, and the little notches will line it up exactly. So let's go to the sewing machine and sew one of these on. We're going to do it 1/4 inch, and they just line up exactly. And we're just going to sew down here. There we go. And you're going to do this to all your dark grays, and that they're going to go one direction, and your light grays are going to go another direction. So let's go ahead and press this back. All right. So you're going to kind of have a stack of these going so that you're ready to put them together. And then we're ready to assemble the rows. Now the diagram is going to be super helpful to you when you're ready to assemble the rows. So for instance, let me show you this. You have two different rows here. Your first row here, and you'll notice right here, see this black one? You attach a black one first to your coral triangle, and that's going to be trimmed off for the edge of your border so that it, it's just easier to attach the whole triangle and just trim that off. But go ahead and put your whole triangle on, and then I want to show you where this fits. So right here, see, here's your row right here. Can you see that? And so you've got this light gray has to be opposite the dark gray. So you're going to make this row like this, and you're going to assemble it vertically. That's what eliminates the Y seam, so it makes it really easy. So then your next row, you're going to sew with your gray one. So right here you see the first one here, you have your coral triangle, and then the light gray, coral triangle, dark gray. When you do your next row, it's going to be just the opposite. Coral triangle, dark gray, coral triangle, light gray. So just follow the diagram because that will save you. When you're ready to put these together, they're going to go together just like this. And see, you can already see we're going to lose this line right here between these triangles so that you can see the box right here. Here's our box. So we're going to go ahead and sew these two rows together so you can see how that looks. So I'm going to fold it over here. As you're sewing, you just want to match up your edges for your corals and where the other pieces come together right here, where your lights and dark grays come together. Just match them up, and you'll be able to do that 1/4 of an inch. And so I'm going to sew down this row a little bit so you can see it, because this is so cool. I have loved this block for a long time, but I'm always looking for that easier way, and this is an easier way, but you are going to want to follow that diagram. All right, here we go. We're sewing a 1/4 of an inch down the side. As I'm sewing along, I'm making sure that where my colors come together, that they are matched, lined right up together. So I stop and I look at my two corals to make sure they're right on top of each other. And of course I don't have these aren't full strips down here because I just want to show you how to do this. But you're going to sew full strips together. We're going to go and iron these open and see how we did matching up all these little junctions. So let's see here. Set your seam. And then I'm just going to roll this back. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. So a template is awesome if it does one thing, but if you can do a lot of things with that template, it becomes valuable. And this is one of those templates. I can see a lot of ideas happening. So we've got this together. You can see they line up really good. Here's our box. We've got our light, medium, and dark right here. And I'm going to show you how this fits into the quilt. So we're going to put this up here. Let's see, here we go. There you go. See how that just fits right into the quilt right there? And so you're just going to start over here. Your first row is going to be a light, then a dark, then a light, and a dark, and so on. And you're going to put those together. So let's see how many rows we have here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 rows across. That's going to give you a quilt that's 80 by 80. So it's a pretty good size quilt. I love how putting it on the black just makes the whole quilt pop. I mean, it just looks like it's floating on there, and I love that look. So I hope you give this rhombus a try. I think it's really cool. It's a great idea. A lot of fun to try new things. So we hope you enjoyed this tutorial on the rhombus quilt from the Missouri Star Quilt Company. So just a couple more things. If you have any trouble at all seeing value, don't forget the Sew Red glasses. These are perfect for warm colors to see light, medium, and dark contrast. If you're using cool colors, we now have the Sew Green glasses that helps you see that value, light, medium, and dark with the cool colors. Also, I want to show you this backing. Take a look at the back of this quilt. We've used Glitzy Garden by Michael Miller. To back a quilt this size, you're going to need 5 yards. But how cool is that? It has the same colors, ties the whole thing all together. So thanks for joining us. See you next time.